called Fear Every Little Thing.
Oh, no, I tested it.
Oh, you did? What do you have, a fecal matter tester in your house?
Well, there's an app.
No. There's a fecal matter testing app?
Yeah.
Shut up. No, what's it called?
You shut up. It's called Feek Test Mat.
The hell it is.
The hell you are.
The hell you say.
I wouldn't even do that.
No, I don't.
Just being scared to death, but saddling up anyway. Ew. Take John Wayne, that
Never.
racist fuck.
He's not
All
racist.
I can think of is, you know who ruined John Wayne for everybody? John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
Let's tie someone up.
Let's rehabilitate
and
John
then,
Wayne's name.
Skull fuck them, and then drown them a little and keep skull fucking them.
Right. Is that what he did? He skull fucked them?
Well,
He would tie him up and skull fuck him?
meaning that he made them suck his dick. You know, he fucked their face. Let's put it that way.
I understand.
Is this
with
thing
skull
on?
fucking.
Test, test.
It is.
Test,
Yeah,
test,
it's
test.
on. We're not
Good.
live, so don't worry. I have a lot of editing power here.
Good, because, you know, you got to know what John Wayne Gacy did and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he was...
Oh, sure. No, you
sure.
didn't.
He was
Yeah,
an
you
asshole. He was an asshole.
Well, they
I'm leaving
all
the
were.
door open. The lighting's not going to be great on this, but it's too nice a day out, and it might be the last nice day we have till spring.
Wow, that's
So-
doom and gloom. You know it's going to be better. We're not even November. Halloween, you know.
It never gets better as you get closer to the end of the year. It always gets worse. Then you get to the beginning of the year.
Where's the Matt I knew? This doom and gloom, like, oh, today might be the best day we ever had.
Till the end of time. You never know. You want to put those headphones on so you can hear
Hear what?
ourselves in relation to the other
What other what?
person in the room. Okay, there you are, putting them on there. See?
Oh, yeah, I hear you like you're right in my
There's your
ear.
camera there. So
Oh, I look...
you look like you're...
Where's the
I don't know
camera,
what you look
dude?
like.
Where's the camera?
It's right in front of you.
That's a camera?
Yeah.
Oh, there. I'll be square off to it.
Yeah.
Here, I got to put that right in my face. There. Is that good?
There you go.
Testing.
Testies, 1, 2, 3.
What's my best side? It's not that.
Yeah. This will be good. I like this. This will, people will be like, oh, wow. Look
Can't
at
believe you're here. Where's the camera? Can I lift Paisley so she's...
Yeah, hold on. Here. There you go.
Yeah, everyone's got to see Paisley.
Yeah.
She's my one-eyed girl. Oh, I ran into...
What happened to her eye? Cancer?
No, she wouldn't listen.
You're awful.
You're awful, Muriel.
Menachem Begin.
That's
That's
me.
you.
Oh, you lifted that? Do I get a 10
So
cents
let's
every
see.
time you
You got,
use that?
every time you have a joke, you got,
Menachem Begin.
and then also, I don't know, let's see what we got.
Oh, does it? Well, that happens to coincide with my shitting my pants story. I'm actually a sober gay American.
That's one of my favorites. I'm actually a sober gay American.
Your swearing sounds so elegant.
You swailing?
Swearing.
You swear like flowers.
There are a whole bunch of others, but I ran
Jeez,
out of
you-
space, so I had to, is that too loud for you?
I can't hear you. It's not loud.
This is why I'm deaf, because I have my headphones are up really high.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they up really high?
They're up really high because, well, I like listening to things high, loudly, at a loud volume. And
You know, you like to be high when you listen to stuff.
I love to be high when I listen to stuff.
What about when you say stuff?
What?
Yeah, I smell that from here. I don't know which end that came out of, but...
And that was the belching end.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Oh, really?
You swear like flowers.
Buffalo Soldier!
Was that me?
I have no. I have this whole. Let me see if I can show you here. I'll turn it around. I got all these. These are all different.
What is the color code? Is the pink one me?
Yes.
That is the worst.
How did you guess?
It's not just pink. It's fluorescent.
It's okay. So the pink one,
Day glow.
the fluorescent pink is you, but then I have another rack that is Veronica, my co-host, and that is a more traditional pink.
So women are pink to you. And
Yeah,
gay guys.
and gay guys. Well, gay guys are neon pink, or like
Apparently, like the highlighter. The pink.
exactly.
highlighter.
You are the pink highlighters, where women are just the pink, just Pepto Pink. You know, Pepto Bismol.
Or pink like a.
Go ahead, just say it. I can bleep it if I. We're not even doing the show yet, so you could say it.
Pussy.
Pink like a pussy. Pussy, pussy, pussy.
You can't. I don't know. Is that some urban thing you're doing?
What, pussy, pussy, pussy?
You can't do that anymore.
What is it? What?
Who did? Is the worst Asian woman?
I noticed. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
If you're going to be racist, you may as well be good at it.
You better do it well.
Right, because there are a lot of racists out there just trying to get on the air.
I think that's what he was doing. I felt like he was auditioning to come on and do an Asian impression or something.
Oh, yeah. You could do my interview in full if you're going to let that guy do that shit.
What do you mean, do your interview in full?
Well, not edit me and like squash.
Squash
my flowers.
No, I'm not gonna take anything out. I'm just gonna bleep certain words. You know, because we got people who like listen to the show with their kids, and we got people who are old. You know,
they don't want the gay. They don't want their Jeb Stewart gay.
They don't want Jeb Stewart to be a homo.
They don't want it.
No, they don't.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to get you doing an ID like that. But
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
No.
But with my name?
Your name.
Hi, this is Joseph Fuqua.
Hold on a second.
Do it again. Hi. I don't want to do that. Hi, this is Joseph Fuqua. Hi, it's Joseph Fuqua. Hi, Joseph Fuqua. Hi, it's Joseph Fuqua. Hi, it's Joseph Fuqua.
Hi, it's Joseph Fuqua. Hi, it's Joseph Fuqua.
Hello, I'm Joseph Fuqua.
And you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
And you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg. You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg with Matt Callery.
There is no time.
There's no time.
I have told you there is no time
But
for that.
generally, sir.
There is no time.
Time.
There is no time.
You know who that time sounds like?
Rolling Stones.
Why don't you wait for it?
Oh, sorry. Who, Joseph? Who do they sound like?
Sounds like Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh.
Time. Why don't you come?
Oh, that one. So I thought you were doing Time is on my side.
Did Hootie do that?
No,
Did
the
Blowfish
Stones
do that?
did that. That's why I said the Stones.
I know, but I was going Hootie and the Blowfish.
Well, you were going a little too hard on Hootie.
Oh, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that. A little too hot on Hootie.
Don't go hot on Hootie. All right, let's start something here.
Why don't we?
What time are we going to dinner? Do you know?
I don't know. Is he going to text when he here? He said he'd be here about 4:30. That John.
Yeah, he texted me. He said call me, but I have to tell you, I prefer to just do texts, unless it's a very quick call, you know. And it's just like I don't know why he can't just text me what he wants.
Well, he's driving. You ever think of that? Like texting and driving, they're signs that you oughtn't.
I think he. Oh, let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, that was at 1:04. So what time did he say he was going to get here? 4:30.
4:30.
Okay. Well then maybe, but he never. Yeah, I don't know.
Do we meet at the restaurant or what do we do?
Yeah, we'll just pick a restaurant and then meet there.
I'll have to take her home.
No. We can go to a place that has like outdoor seating.
Really? Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want her to be here all the time. She ruins everything.
She ruins everything?
Everything.
Well, how old is she?
She's 8. She just turned 8.
She's 8?
Well, this is gold. We should have this on it.
Yeah, this is going to be the cold open.
Oh, you always say, you and your cold open.
Love cold
it's
opens.
Like you're like a friggin', what do they say about the witches?
That they what? I don't know what. They have warts?
Their teats are as cold.
Cold as a witch's. Oh, cold opening. I get it. Well, I mean, I like to have a cold open, and then somebody says something funny, and then I go.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
And then we start the show.
Yeah, but what if nobody says anything funny?
Then it's a long cold open.
You know what they say?
What?
That a dead person has a cold opening.
Ew.
You're ew. There, that's the funny thing. And now we're live with Cats Addressing Gettysburg. Do you realize you have a beaver mug?
Yeah.
That says, I don't give a damn spelled D-A-M.
Mm-hmm.
That is as
Gay.
as strawberry shortcake.
So you want to know the story behind it, or you want to just call me gay?
Both.
Okay, well, I'll tell you the story, and then you can still call me gay. I think it has a hole in it or something. Anyway.
Is it leaking?
Well, it
Maybe
feels
it's condensation.
No, maybe. Anyway, so there were beavers that dammed up a creek down by Little Round Top, and it turned the valley floor into a fucking lake. Okay?
Beavers will do that.
And people were like, hey, there's monuments that are getting drowned out in this fucking lake. And the Park Service was like, and so people were getting pissed off. But some people were like, oh no, the beavers are cute. Leave the beavers. Let him stay here. So then we started to break off into factions. Team Beaver versus Team Mozart. Mozart is the name. It was the Mozart Regiment, and that's the monument that was being endangered. And so we made T-shirts, and it was a discussion on the show here. And one of my listeners sent me this.
Were you Team Beaver or Team
I was
Mozart?
Team Mozart. I don't care about the fucking
Figured.
beavers. I want the...
Yeah, and that's why you should be a homosexual. Because here's why.
But the homosexuals liked Team Beaver. They were Team Beaver. It was women and homos. And the wives of the women the husbands of the women who were afraid to go against their wives. That's who was Team
Well,
Beaver.
if you're anti-Beaver, then you are anti... See what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with it?
I'm sorry, Joey.
And yeah, it's
All
really
right.
good.
All right,
It's
we're
really
going to
good.
start this. We're going to start this now, okay? Here we go. So let's do that. We're going to start. Where's my...
Who named it the Mozart Regiment?
They were from Mozart Hall in New York City.
Okay,
So
I
that's...
thought they were fans of Mozart.
No,
Jesus.
some people think like they're all musicians or something, but no, it wasn't that.
Oh, they wouldn't have lasted long.
No.
And not to malign musicians, but they're not really battle ready.
No, they're not really fighters, you know?
Well, you're going too far by saying that.
Why is that
Because
too
they
far?
fight for their stanzas.
Oh, that's
They
true.
fight for art in the school.
For art in the schools and their stanzas and their songs
Yeah.
against the record companies. It's a great point. That is a great
Yeah,
point.
that's a point. That's idiotic, but that's a point.
That's true, though.
We're here
man.
right now.
All right, here we go. Let's start it, Joey. Let's start it.
All right.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special episode of Addressing Gettysburg. I'm going to tell you now, we're going to have fun on this one. Purely fun. No history, maybe history. Who knows? We don't know where it's going to go. But I just finished a day-long bender with an old guest of ours, a friend of ours who was a guest on the show before via phone, and now happens to be here in person. And I said, hey, well, why don't you come into the studio and we'll do another interview, because all we've been doing all day is just having a laugh riot and some Mexican food.
Yeah.
And so now, all I'm saying is do not hold me accountable for anything any one of us say here. This is all in fun. And frankly, if you're listening with the kids, send them somewhere else.
Well, it could go clean. I mean,
Well, but what's the fun in going clean, though? You know, I think it would be more fun to go au natural. Anyway, here he is with his dog in a papoose, Joseph Fuqua. Hello, Joseph. Played Jeb Stewart in the movie Gettysburg and Gods and Generals. Hello, Joseph. Welcome.
thank you for having me. Thanks.
Now, who do we got
Appreciate
in the papoose there? Let's hold her up a little bit so we could see her, if you don't
Oh,
mind.
right. This
Yes,
is
there's-
my one-eyed
Your one-eyed-
dachshund, Paisley.
Paisley.
I got her when she already had the eye removed. I actually got her when she had her stitches in her eye. I did not do this.
So was
She
it
had
a-
It was a what's called an abscess behind the eye. Had to be removed, and she is a retired breeding dam, rather than say the word that rhymes with bitch. That is the word.
That is the part.
So she's a mini, long-haired, dappled dachshund, and the breeder has American Kennel Club not controls, but you have to have smaller litters to have the puppies be viable minis. So as the breeding dam gets older, they might have smaller litters with larger puppies. So she'd had 2 litters of puppies, and then the third litter were only 2 puppies, and they were big. So they were tweenies. So they put the breeding dams out to pasture and put them up for adoption. So I got my dachshund Bonnie, short-haired red brindle.
Right.
And then she passed away. I didn't have anything to do with that. It was an accident. And then I got Paisley.
So did you name her Paisley?
No, I did not name her. I wouldn't, and I probably wouldn't have named Bonnie, but I think it's unlucky to rename boats and dogs.
I agree.
Probably children too.
Probably anything that's already named you should not rename. Well, that's not true.
I mean, if it was...
It's a school. You could rename schools.
Yeah, if the school has... I mean, I don't want to get political.
No.
Say the school is
Adolf
named,
Hitler Elementary School.
Why did you ruin it? I was going to do that. I was going to go... Now they're naming all the Robert E. Lee places.
Exactly.
Probably the General Jeb Stuart breezeway, connecting the middle school and the high school, and he only got died early.
Yeah, he didn't make it to the end of the war.
He didn't make it to the end.
Yeah,
So
poor
he
kid.
couldn't write or help write his history. He was just a victim.
So
and
he's-
apparently I talked to, who was the guy I talked to? Wonderful historian.
Gary? Tim Smith.
Tim Smith. Wow, he knew everything, and he told me a lot of what history and the stories post the Civil War got wrong about Jeb Stuart is that we don't know whether Robert E. Lee
Yelled at him.
read him the riot act or yelled at him when he went into the headquarters or
Yeah,
not. We just know that he went in and then he came out.
Right, and I think he said that he. Somebody said, Chris Gwynn, who was the Park Service ranger who was with us, he said that Stewart went and told his aide, Henry B. McClellan, the gist of the conversation. And so we have an inkling of an idea of what it was about, but there's no verbatim dialogue that was recorded.
Right. And according to Tim Smith, and I think Chris is a great guy, and he's he's a park ranger, and I love what he does. But Tim Smith would disagree and probably have a fist fight.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Because evidently there are no reports of the conversation. So whatever Chris says that this aide de camp of Stewart's reported to whomever, maybe the lunch lady at the cafeteria when he got a snack, I don't know, but.
What I find fascinating is that you said aide de camp instead of aide de camp like every other American would. Where are you from? Are you French? What is going on? Aide de camp. I've never heard anybody say
Well, that's what you're supposed to say. I wouldn't say like the English would say Don Juan rather than say Don Juan. You can say Don Juan.
Yeah,
so
yes.
it's aide de camp. And I know
Is that how the French say it? Odd? Instead of aide?
Yeah.
They say odd. They pronounce
Well, it's
it
not
odd.
Now you're making me feel plume. It's some weird American pronunciation.
Well, how do they say it?
It's odd.
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 Aide de
It's not
camp.
Germanic. It's aide de camp.
Aide
You
de
say
camp.
it quickly and you don't get caught
Right.
being a douche.
Yes.
That's how you
Aide
do
de
it.
camp.
Aide de camp. Well, you don't be like when people go, I'll have a croissant.
Yeah. That drives me nuts.
That
I had
drives me crazy.
My cousin. One time I went to an Italian deli with my cousin, and we're not. I mean, she has no Italian blood. I'm half Italian, half Irish. She doesn't, and we go into this place, and she goes up and orders, and she's like, "Yeah, can I have a chicken cutlet sandwich with fresh mozzarella on it?" And I was behind her, and I cringed. I don't even think the Italians say it that way. That's what annoyed me.
I'm sure she made that face too.
Mozzarella.
Yes.
Yeah, the
mozzarella.
yeah, and she did the thing with her hands. Chicken cutlet with fresh mozzarella.
Yeah, cringeworthy.
And I went up and made a point to say mozzarella.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so she could hear that.
Actually, I went up
the normal
and yeah, exactly. I want her to hear how it's supposed to be said in these United States.
in these United States.
Yeah. You go to Italy and say-
Des États Unis.
Okay, is that French too?
Yeah. these states united.
Was that your French? French was your language in school?
Mais oui, bien sûr.
Oh wow, that sounds great.
No, it's all. My father was a linguist, so he spoke French, Portuguese.
Was he cunning?
Was he cunning?
A cunning linguist?
Oh, I see what you're going.
Yes.
No, he was. He would take the knife and he'd fillet. No, he wouldn't show. I got nothing.
Wait, no. Hold on.
No, see, I could have kept it clean, but you bait
I know.
me to go into
I
areas
know.
that I don't
I listen. I gave everybody a warning, so
Yeah, but
buyer
it didn't seem
beware.
fair. I wanted this to be the one that people could hear.
Oh, you want
Not
this
that
to
he-
be the classy one?
Well,
okay,
they're
well,
all
we could do classy.
Listen, I say odd to comp.
I know. How do you get classier than that?
How do you get? That's the thing. My father was a classy. He was a retired general. He knew how to say things, but he was still a man's man.
Right.
But he wouldn't, because he knew better. He would never deign to dumb it down. So I know that it's odd to comp. So I'm going to say odd to comp.
I
I'm
see,
not
but
gonna
I
say-
like that. All jokes aside, I like that attitude. Like, no, this is it. It's not an or an English word. It's a French word or phrase or whatever.
Yeah, aide de camp.
Aide de camp.
And even though it's Versailles, Indiana, you
Right.
would say it's Versailles.
It's Versailles, Indiana. There's
Maybe he wouldn't do that because that would be impolite. My father was a very polite man.
Well,
And
he-
if someone was from Versailles, he would say not say, "Oh, it's Versailles," because that would be douchey.
but he would take you aside later and say,
Yes,
It's Versailles,
named
not
after
Versailles.
Versailles,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Versailles. And Lafayette County, and not Lafayette.
"Oh yeah, that drives me nuts." There's a lot of words that what is it? Joliet?
Illinois.
Yeah, I think so. Or somewhere else. I don't know. There's a couple of French words where even I know. I'm like, this is not how you say it. Like here, we pronounce them differently, but I'm like, oh, this is not really the way.
But there's something about that. That's the thing that I mentioned earlier about the English saying Don Juan and not Don Juan.
Right.
That seems more douchey than,
Well, I think
normal.
I think every culture should take a foreign word and pronounce it the way they would pronounce it in their native language. I mean, not in their own language. So if we say Joliet instead of Jolette or whatever the fuck it's supposed to be,
There's some that are harder, that are more cringeworthy
Yeah.
than others.
Yeah.
For someone to say, it's like, oh, I go to Joliet High School, it would be, oh, no, you don't.
well, but did you ever watch like the news? And then like they're speaking in their non-regional diction, right? And then they have
They're
to
from
say
Mid-Atlantia.
yes, right. And they have to say a Hispanic name, and then suddenly the accent comes out, and then they go back to non-regional diction. Doesn't it sound stupid?
Well, I think there's two schools of thought. Because
Okay.
There's the way a name is pronounced, because I have a friend who's the head of a acting program in North Carolina, and he is paid an hourly wage, because he rather likes doing it. He wouldn't have to be, to say all the names correctly at graduation. So he reads 1,200 names, graduating class of University of North Carolina, Pembroke. And he says he rehearses and then writes out the phonetics in
Right.
every name so that every parent hears their name read correctly. I think some guy at lunch, I forgot what his name was, Gary.
Yeah,
So Gary
Edelman.
Edelman, he's used to Adelman and everything. And he said his
Alderman.
wife, who was last name was Dangle, changed her name to Edelman so that she wouldn't have Dangle.
Right.
And then she's been cursed with people mispronouncing Edelman.
Right, exactly.
Alderman, people add other letters. And there's nothing worse, especially if you work 4 years for a degree, or, no, that's not my name, this is my name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Don Juan is dead. So who cares whether...
That's true. But
You
there's
say
plenty
Don
of
Juan.
wands out there.
Oh, here you go again.
Okay.
Right? But you're absolutely right. So
Oh, yeah.
there's not doing the proper placement of the tongue, so you don't make the sound. You don't have to go that far.
Right.
But it's Don Juan, not Don Juan. And you don't have to go Don Juan. You don't have to go full on, I'm going to have the exact placement of my tongue and emulate the proper sound as if I were a Spaniard or a Mexican
Sure.
speaking.
You know what else bothers me about the English? The way
Besides
they pronounce
what?
Jaguar.
Oh, Jagger? What do they say?
Jaguar.
Oh, Jaguar. That's crazy. It's just,
And then I hear Americans doing it because they want to go and buy a Jaguar. and
they
it's
sound
just
stupid.
douchey.
Oh, it sounds really stupid.
What a douche!
Or if someone says that they're going to take the lift, and you mean
the
car
elevator.
service, you mean the elevator,
Right.
Surely.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, and I've never met her. I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but Madonna, who lived in England and then suddenly has that English
Yeah,
accent.
she lived there for 20 minutes. She was married to Guy Ritchie for 2 years, and then suddenly she's English by injection. And it's like, doesn't mean you're going to be accented.
No, it's affected. That's the difference. I think that's the thing. My father didn't like
Phoniness.
William F. Buckley. Hated his accent because it was mannered. It was a professional mannered, so he didn't talk like that in real life. But when he got on the, so it was the pretension and it rubbed him the wrong way.
I know what you mean. I saw there's on YouTube, there's a clip of him and Gore Vidal going at it on some TV show.
Oh, and it's the pretentious off.
Oh,
Both
yeah.
of them seem
They're both
wildly
obnoxious.
pretentious and very, very smart men.
Mm-hmm.
Superior minds.
Yes.
But
that
that
doesn't mean-
pretentious doesn't mean you can. I don't know. I don't want to be judgmental about anything. It's just when it rubs you the wrong way, and that could be my father's voice. Where you have your parents' prejudice in some small way.
Absolutely, but I think in the case of those two men, I am totally with you. Like it was so cringy to listen to these two. I call them auto fart smellers. People who love the smell of their own farts, and they think that nothing they do is bad. Yes, and they're sitting there arguing with each other, but they're vicious. Like some of the things they're saying to each other are vicious, but they're doing it with those haughty ways of speaking.
Haughty.
Yes, thank you.
Love that word.
And
That's it. It is. There's a
it's
haughtier.
haughty.
Yes.
It's a haughty arrogance. And William F. Buckley, though, I think is the worst offender out of those two, because it's almost like a British accent, like what people in like the New England upper crust would, or New York society people, they'd put that phony, highfalutin British accent on, or whatever the hell it is.
Well,
It's not even British accent. It's like a weird.
Well, it used to be at drama school. They sort of were teaching us. I mentioned earlier, sounding like you're from Mid-Atlantia.
Yes.
So everyone, sort of this 1930s movie star,
Right.
where your region is Eastern Seaboard, upper crust, but there was a culture, the cultured tone. So there was, it was cohesive. So, and that at drama schools probably from the 1970s through 2015, they liked for Americans to be able to have these pure sounds that weren't English, they were American sounds.
Right.
So that when you did Shakespeare or when you did Ibsen or when you did Chekhov, you didn't sound regional. And like the Royal Shakespeare Company, everyone has received pronunciation. Most everyone speaks like the British royal family or an aristocrat.
Okay.
Unless that's your status, your high status. You had servants. But a servant's class would have a Cockney accent,
Right.
or a Northern or Yorkshire, some accent that was regional rather than this pure, pretty sound. And that's what the Mid-Atlantic speech in drama schools and the movie stars of the 1930s and 40s, that's what they tried to emulate, that there was a pure, cohesive sound that was what the good American sounds were.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taken a lot of hits for a while because you don't want to have everybody be told you don't sound right.
Right.
But
how boring is it too when everybody sounds the same?
Well, the idea is that these incredible English actors and Australian actors and actors from New Zealand and actresses, you don't know what their accent is. Because they're coming over here and they're doing American accents, and they sound like they're from Brooklyn. They sound like they're haughty New Yorkers.
Right, right.
And you don't know what their actual accent is until they're on a talk show, the Graham Norton Effect or something.
Yeah.
And then oh my God, they're a Kiwi, or they're an Aussie, and they're from East London.
And it's always impressive when
It's impressive.
they can do an American accent.
Right, and we aren't allowed to because we can't work in England.
No.
And our schools have been teaching dialects for years, our drama schools, but we can't go over there and work.
Is that true? There's a law against us working there?
Their unions won't let us.
Interesting.
And if they get a green card or a producer hires them, they can come and work here.
Yeah.
They. You know. And of course, American actors go, "Oh, I wish that wasn't so," because they're taking jobs away from Americans. Well, of course they want to work here. Of course, people from overseas want to work here because they don't have the residual system.
Sure.
They don't get residuals on their television shows in England and
Right.
Australia. Ours do residuals. The producers would like to do away with them.
Of course.
And the same thing that you don't get residuals, but you get better pay on Broadway. So, of course, they want to come over here and do their American accents and play American characters on Broadway, and we let them. But we can't. We can barely go over there and play an American, and certainly never play an Englishman.
Yeah. Well,
On the London stage.
that would be
or what
obscene.
have you. It would be obscene.
you talk about the Graham Norton show. You mentioned that, and
Love that show.
Don't you think that's a show that should be on here? First of all, every time I see a clip of it, it seems to be all American actors that they have on the couch, and it's hilarious.
It's hilarious. And didn't he have a show here for a while? I thought he
I've
did.
never heard of him until I saw these clips from his
On Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, everywhere.
And
Yeah.
once they start, you can watch, and they're all hysterical.
Every one of them is great.
And I think he's on every night. So there are so many more.
That's probably
clips
why.
Of actors we might not recognize because they're on.
British.
Yeah, they're British celebrities, and we wouldn't necessarily know them. But every big movie. What's it called? The marketing where they go out and get everybody before the award
junkets?
shows. The press junkets when a film comes out.
Right.
I mean, come on. Of course they want to be over there. So that's a show that everyone has because that's going to sell. You know, watching George Clooney mix it up with one of their beloved British comics.
Dame Edna.
Dame Edna. Well, isn't Dame Edna dead?
I think so.
But any of the other days.
It's the only thing I can think of. Dame Judi Dench.
Judi Dench. She's on with everybody, and she doesn't know who they are.
No, I know. She
And
doesn't know
it's
who
kinda-
she is. She's getting up there in age.
But always funny, always a delight.
Sure.
Because I love the way he steers the conversation and pokes fun at everything, has these little bits.
He's great.
And I don't know what the editing process is, but
I've
it
never
always
seen
seems-
the show. I've only seen these clips.
Right. So what do we know?
I don't know how they edited her.
That's why you're saying we should be able to see all the shows.
I would
and
love
then we'll
to see
be the
those
judge
shows.
of that.
Yeah,
Let's bring it on.
You know what?
Graham
I
Norton.
think I just need to start to not corner myself, but position myself to be the Graham Norton of Gettysburg. So anybody important comes to town, they have to sit on my couch for a YouTube live stream. And then we'll just sit there and drink wine, and I'll just throw random things at them and have them do goofy thing. See, that's the
Would you-
problem is
would
we don't historians are not performers in that regard, you know.
Well, I was surprised at how lively the historians were today when we were
Well,
shooting this.
there's two things that play into that. I think it is a different day and age, and people everybody is a performer. Everybody sees, you know, with social media, they after a while you start to imitate things, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. Like everybody seems to know how to speak in front of a camera. When you put a camera in somebody's face, some people are shy. You know, there's always going to be those people. But when you get someone who is willing to speak in front of a camera, they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then you start rolling, and then you ask them a question, and they're like, "Well, you know, the time we came down through the mountains, we could see clearly through the mist, you know." And then all of a sudden, this person's like a great presenter. And they have no experience. They've never had any interest in doing it. It's just that we see it everywhere. The media is everywhere.
Well, with
The phone.
the phone, but I also think with the group that we were working with earlier today.
Now, by the
all
way, this
speak-
is all top secret, so don't go into details about that.
So I'm not going to even mention all the details besides that we're going to cure cancer.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
And I didn't mean to joke about something.
Yeah, that's not funny.
It would be a
jerk
marvelous
off.
thing.
Yeah, okay.
Quiet, Joe. Quiet. Listen, all of those people seem to be able to get in front of people in a tour, say.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think is missing in America. Maybe people will think they're going to be good in front of a camera, but I think what's happening is the spoken word is being, the art of speaking is being lost.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody, young people, people my age, you're younger than I am, we'd rather text. We don't want to talk on the phone. We'd rather text. We'd rather get it done and not have to open our mouths.
Yeah.
But your part of your living is wrapped up in being able to speak,
Right.
and speak well and roll with it. Nowadays, unless somebody has to speak in front of a crowd, they can go through most of their day and not have to speak. And they're losing the ability. I work with young people in the summer. They're there to do Shakespeare. But I'm talking about they can learn their lines and they can sound great, and I help them make sense of what they're saying, navigate the exalted language. But then when you're asking them a question about their lives, they don't know how to answer without, well, it's like, it's like, and then I was like, well, my mom, and it was like, and they cannot form a sentence without putting the padding
Yes.
of like and
Yes.
And that's something that I think the rest of the world, the young people of the world, when they're learning English, are able to do are able to form thoughts without adding like and And what's happening, I believe, is, and I took a couple of courses to get my undergraduate degree recently, in the last couple of years. I think I told you about that in the last broadcast.
Yeah.
Podcast. And so we're hurting now. Our young people are not as good as the other
Every other generation that ever
in the
lived.
other workforce, but also in other parts of the world. Germans, Japanese. We are far behind. We're great with our work skills and our work ethic, but when we have to present a report,
Yeah.
oral report, we are inaudible and unintelligible because we cannot make sense of what needs to be reported without adding 10 minutes of likes and no's. And bosses, they don't have time, and you are not memorable. In fact, you're only memorable in that you're not as well spoken as the German who speaks English just as well.
You're crude.
Or fluent. You sound like a 14-year-old. Pardon my French, but you sound like a Cardassian. And
Yeah.
God love them. They're clever business people,
But they're horrible for humanity.
and they're the vocal fry.
Oh, I
Everything
hate
goes
that.
up in the end.
It's so bad for you. You shouldn't do that. Stop it.
And so we're losing the beauty of language and the appreciation of language. Is like,
Well, I was watching a documentary the other day. I think it was a PBS documentary about Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe. And they got some actor there pretending to be him, reciting, lines or things from letters or whatever, just reciting his own words. And I'm like, this is an American poet. This isn't a British poet. This is an American poet. And my God, that language is beautiful, the way he crafts it. And nobody speaks that way anymore. And I
so
love
was
that.
it an American actor who was representing?
Yeah.
So was he good? You thought that he?
Oh, he was
nailed
good.
it?
He's been in a lot of stuff. He's been in American Horror Story. I think he was on Lost. I don't know his name, but he's in a lot of stuff. Like, you would know him if you saw him.
But I wonder if he went to one of the great American drama schools, where you still in the past 20 years he would have gotten a big hit of. It's called Edith Skinner. There's a way in which that you are taught to not twang, that have a diphthong when it's just one syllable word. And there's a beautiful, dialects of America are beautiful, but they can get in the way and be more memorable than the words. If the dialect is the lead story and not the beautiful words. So that's why you want to be able to get out of the way of the language and ride the language wave with pure sounds that aren't too haughty or too
Affected.
or ugly. Mm-hmm. You know, there's certain sounds that are a little harder to hear, and people tune out.
Yeah.
There it is.
The Boston accent is one that gets me.
It gets me, but I kind of love it.
You do?
Oh, it can be. And I don't know if you've ever been to...
like a heavy one, not like a slight one, like a heavy...
The heavy, and a Long Island and Brooklyn. There's
those are the
something,
worst.
But in the old days, people who are on the words could have those, so I was telling my friend, Betty, I said, what the hell are you doing in my sedan? And all over that beautiful upholstery. So there's a dialect, but there's no like,
right.
and and they're on the words, this beautiful upholstery. That's savoring words.
But it still sounds like he's from New York.
Yeah,
but it's
you're
not.
right.
It's not a true New York accent. It's
right, and I'm doing it. It could be Canarsie, but my point is that accents, if people are on the words.
Right.
Now, it can be, because hearing somebody making fun of Cockney accents. Well, you mean the one that's as big as me?
Right. Hello, governor.
And you understand those words, and you remember the words. So I'm just thinking that dialects can be beautiful as long as you are articulating. You need the vowel sounds, and you need the D's and T's, and they have to pop. And I think that's what, if we savored our words, it wouldn't matter what our dialects are.
Does that come from in the early days of talkies, when the quality of the audio recording wasn't good, that you had to enunciate? Is that where that whole way of speaking might have originated?
Well, if anyone's ever seen the film Singing in the Rain, the character Lena Lamont, and I can't stand him. And they wanted her, because she was a silent film actress. They wanted her to sound beautiful. So that Debbie Reynolds, and I forgot the name, Gene Hagen, had to dub the lines.
Really?
Speaking in the making of this talkie, the first talkie that the studio was doing, and the plot points of Singing in the Rain, and Lena Lamont I can't stand him. She could never make pretty sounds. So Debbie Reynolds, so she stepped in. I forgot the name of Debbie Reynolds' character. So that was the whole point of, you've got to sound good. Now that they're talking,
right.
You have to sound the way Americans would want to sound.
So
that breathy Hollywood voice began to be very important. And people wanted to sound sophisticated, culture.
Okay.
And that's where I think all of the pretentious, what we would say, haughty sounds, they come out of the desire to not sound poor.
Like Cary Grant, was he an American?
Archibald Leach. No, he was an Englishman.
Okay, so that makes sense why the way he talks so funny.
But your question or comment earlier, stage, you have to enunciate on the stage.
Because you have to project.
These theaters now that they're miking, a Booth or Nederlander Theater on Broadway, they're built so you could whisper and hear every sound in one of the boxes or in the balconies.
See, that's amazing, because before microphones, well, of course, but before microphones, you had to project.
You had to project, but also the acoustics of the stage was built so you could be heard standing center stage or stage left, right, or further upstage and be heard. It's amazing. So we don't need to be mic'd. Now, it's one thing, I think, the musicals, sound systems, and the blend, because there were always problems in the balcony with Oklahoma before sound systems, where the orchestra was drowning out the singer.
Right.
So, but that's why it was an orchestra pit. The musicians were down below and the voices came out over, and so it was a natural blend. That's how it was designed. Opera.
That's
Same
brilliant.
thing.
Yeah, I never
and
even
now
realized that.
Sound guys are mixing the sounds like it's a recording studio.
Yeah.
Live. They're mixing it live.
Yeah.
Which is incredible, but now they're trying to do that with non-musicals. And
what do you mean? Just regular old.
Yes, there's no music
speaking
involved.
Plays.
So you don't need to blend the music with the singing voices. Now they're just miking the actors, and it will soon be where it won't be important to learn how to project.
Right. Well,
and I'm an older American, and I swear to you, I am 3 feet from one of my students, and I can't understand a word they're saying because they're not audible and they're not articulating.
Well, I noticed that with a lot of young people I talk to, they all mumble. And it's not me getting old, because everybody I know who has better hearing than me even says it. They're like, yeah, I can never understand him because he mumbles.
About the spoken word is being lost.
Yeah.
The ability and taking pride in, you shouldn't need to take a public speaking course. We need to teach kids. We should have a conversation course, speaking so grandma can understand.
Interpersonal communication.
Interpersonal communication, so that you want to be understood.
Yes.
I want you to understand me.
I think it's also that there's an insecurity. Like, they know they're ill-equipped. I'm talking people in their early 20s, maybe they just got out of college, and they're smart enough to realize that they just spent how many years in school, basically 2 decades in school, and they are not equipped for the real world, because nobody cares that you have a degree in basket weaving. You have to make a living somehow. And nobody thinks you're special because you haven't proven it to us. But you've been told since kindergarten, whatever you are, whatever you think is special. And you're not.
It's kind of sad.
It's very sad.
I had an argument, not an argument, but
It's our fault.
I think so too.
I mean, not my fault.
Well, no, you contribute every day.
Of course I do.
With your low-quality podcast. Get out. No, a point that I was trying to make, that we still, American teachers in college, junior colleges, high school, English teachers are still nitpicky as hell, and they savage your papers and the red lines, and even on your Google Docs, they can, red mark it up and savage you. Everything, move here, you don't know, comma here. But no one has been doing that with kids and their oral presentation. So no one is ever saying, Betty, I can't hear you, and I'm right next to you, because we don't want to hurt their feelings.
Well,
and Betty, you're doing that whine, and Kevin, you're going like, and you're saying like, and you know too much. Stop.
Yeah.
Think about what you're going to say, and then say it. Don't say they plunge, they jump off the cliff, and then they start talking, and then it's like, and then
why do you think that is? Why do they plunge? I have a theory.
Well, I think it's fear of not being heard, and they want to tread water and keep talking so no one interrupts them, because that's also because young people will interrupt each other. No, I'm going to interrupt you. But that's the point. Everyone wants to be heard, and I think that's the American idolization of the world. Where, no, it's my turn. No, it's my turn. You don't even know what you're going to say. It doesn't matter. It's my turn. I'm serious. Mm-hmm. You don't get a turn because I can't understand you, Deirdre. I just come up with these names.
Yeah, nobody's named Deirdre today.
Wow.
Well, I mean, nobody
Take
under
that,
a certain age. Deirdre Hall.
Yes.
Take that.
Yes, Gertrude.
Molly. Gertie. Actually, I met a Gertrude a couple of weeks ago who was like 30, maybe?
Full-on Gertrude? Or was he Trudy?
No. Gertrude. Yeah. I was like, wow.
Her mother didn't like her.
She was from Germany, though. It was a customer here. It was a tourist. So
the Germans.
Yeah, Gertie.
Of course, Gertrude. That's like they're Mary.
Yeah, it is, right. In fact, in the German Catholic Bible, it was the Virgin Gertrude that gave birth to Jesus, not Mary.
So funny. Not calorie bacon.
All right, listen, I got a question, though, about...
bacon.
I have a question about like and all that stuff.
And
like,
you know?
And Now... Last 2 years ago, I don't know, I bought Eric, I thought he would enjoy this, Eric the producer, I bought him a dog shock collar to put on me to break me of the habit of saying and like.
Ooh.
But I know why I do it. It's
why
because,
do you think you do it?
Well, because it's not just young people who interrupt. It's also everybody. So, I'm trying to hold the floor, but I don't have the words yet, or the thought put into words yet. And so I sit there and go, I'll do this, because I know everybody else in the room is just waiting for a pause, and then they jump in, and now I'm going to lose what I was trying to say. And then the conversation goes in a different direction. And then that's frustrating for the listener. But what also is frustrating for the listener is listening to somebody go like, and that's why I wanted Eric to shock me out of the habit. But he never brought it in.
Oh,
He
it
said,
never happened.
I care about you too much. I don't want to hurt you. And I
This
said, that's
sounds like
bullshit.
Eric.
It sounds like Eric. It
So
sounds nothing
caring,
like
such
Eric.
a dear fellow.
Yes.
Well, the idea too, I think, is
Don't worry, guys. I got the Band-Aids.
Thank you, Eric. Go ahead.
I got the Band-Aid.
See, that's how caring he is.
Very caring. And of course, I hear that, and with my Shakespeare work and what I learned, it shouldn't be Band-Aids. It's Band-Aids.
Band-Aids.
The Z makes it a prettier sound.
Wait, what does he say? Hold on, let me listen.
Don't worry, guys. I got the Band-Aids.
Oh, Band-Aids.
Yeah, it's more of an
Band-Aids.
S. And
He's
if you put a
saying
Z
eight.
on it, Band-Aids.
Yeah, Band-Aids
It's
is
a little
the way.
sibilant. It's not terrible. It's actually, he's got a great voice. But Band-Aids, it's that Z sound is a lot prettier, and you're not going to ever get into trouble being sibilant. This
Band-Aids.
Band-Aids.
Right.
Band-Aids.
Un gato grande en mis pantalones.
Pantalones, if you put the Z. So a Z sound for plurals at the end, always better, ladies and gentlemen. My point also about the like and is people are afraid of silence now.
Yeah, they are.
So a quiet moment of, I've said what I wanted to say, or I'm thinking, let me answer your question. Yeah, it was and you take the moment where that moment is, oh my God, and you with the little sound cues, oh quick, press one of those buttons and have some pithy
Just
little
make some
comment
kind of noise.
because silence becomes something that people will begin to feel uncomfortable.
It's loneliness. So I live alone, right?
Me
and
too.
I
Except
come
with Paisley, the one-eyed dog who's still
sleeping
on,
on your lap. I don't have a dog anymore. I'm thinking of getting one this winter because it is lonely. Like you come home,
Like
see.
I
And
would have.
I wish I had the shock collar.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would have zapped that. I mean, he'd still be twitching.
I wish you would. I'm gonna
I'll
get
smack
another
you.
one and
Get
keep
me,
it here.
Get me squirt gun with
No, it's too much
acetone
electronics here.
in it.
Acetone?
Okay.
No.
It burns.
I know it
especially if it
burns.
gets in an orifice.
Of course, and we all know our orifices are wide open.
Orifices.
Orifices are
Orify.
wide open. See, I need to do that. I need to take a class in like proper.
Listen, I'll charge you a lot of money. You can take a class.
Great. Sounds great. Sign me up. What do you charge?
You don't want to know.
Is it really bad? 4 figures?
No, $75 an hour. I have an MFA from Yale.
Huh?
$75 an hour.
What did you say after that?
I have an MFA from Yale.
See, you slurred that.
I did because I'm embarrassed, but your listeners.
Why are you embarrassed? Because you went to Yale?
Nah, there's always that name droppy thing.
Oh, yeah, but you went to Yale.
Yeah, it cost me. I mean, I'm proud to.
You still have an Yale.edu email address, don't
I'm
you?
going to hang on to that.
Yeah, of
Why
course.
wouldn't I? But unless someone says, give me your email, it's like, well, do you have a pencil? There's Yale in the title. Yeah.
But you
Maybe you write that in pen.
Do you have a normal one so you don't feel pretentious? Like a Gmail account?
Yeah, like an AOL.
No, that's like 40 years ago.
Yeah, 23 Skidoo. I have actually a Hotmail.
Which is
And that's
basically like
MAIL.
AOL. Hotmail wasn't that like right after AOL?
Yeah, but
Nobody
I still
uses
have it.
Hotmail.
What am I going to do? I also have one with my josephfuqua.com. There's a info at josephfuqua.com.
Even more pretentious. Well, I guess not, because you have a website.
Yeah, I'm an actor. I need self-marketing. I mean, believe me, I was dragged slowly to the table as far as having all that media presence.
Yeah, I remember you
I've
saying
got
that.
3 followers on Instagram. It's very exciting.
Well, you need to work it more. You have an Instagram account?
I do.
Oh, let me see here. Let me look you up here. Do you really have 3 followers? Or are you being
I don't know.
funny?
I might have 8 or 9 or 18.
What is it? Just Joseph Fuqua?
There's a B for Bernard.
Joseph.
It's Joseph B. Fuqua, I believe.
B. Fuqua.
Did you find it?
Yep. Here we go. You have 90 followers.
90.
And it says you also have no posts.
Maybe that I should get some posts. I did have posts, but they don't remain. I don't understand this.
Those are stories.
So
stories go away.
Okay, how do I post things? Will you teach me?
I'll teach you how to do it.
Okay,
yeah.
because there are lots of things I want to post.
Look here.
And evidently I have a
We'll
TikTok.
make a post right now. So here, watch. I'm going to open up the thing here, and I'm going to. How do I do that? I want to use my camera. All right. So use my camera, right? And then all right. There it is. So get in the shot there, Joey. Let's see. Make yourself a little more visible. You're a little too invisible. Let me see. Come over towards me more. Okay, there. Good. Okay, ready? And wave or something like that. I'm going to make my stupid face. All right, there we are. And now, so what I'm going to do...
How about the dog? We'll do one with the dog.
Oh, okay. Now we got to do a whole new one now because you got to get your goddamn dog in there. All right, here we go. Let's see. There it is. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now, so you go in and you could put these, filters or whatever on them if you want to. So I'm just going to make it black and white.
Oh, very nice.
Simple. No, I don't like that black and white. I'm going to use another one. Point is, whatever. So you do here, Inkwell. That's the one I like. It's
Inkwell.
It's not a great picture, but whatever. Then you go, you hit next, and then you can type something here. So I'm going to say recording with Jeb Stewart. Okay, and then I'm going to tag you. Okay, so tag people. You can tag someone. I'm going to tap you right there, and then there's Joseph B. Fuqua, and there it is, done. Share, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and then share. Now you could also use hashtags and stuff like that.
Hashtag.
Yeah, but I'll put it up, and then you'll see if you can get into your account because you probably forgot the password, didn't you?
Well, I'm going to go into my. What are these called?
Apps.
Apps.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry,
that's short
abs.
Abscess?
Abscess.
Is that short for, and this is, am I tweeting? What am I doing?
No, that's on Twitter. This is Instagram.
I don't like your tone.
You're posting.
So Instagram.
You're posting on Instagram.
All right, I'm going from Meta. What's Meta?
Meta is what Facebook changed its name to in the hopes that people would forget that there are a bunch of evil tyrants who control you.
So there's my account.
Okay, there you are.
Where
so
am
what
I?
about it? What do you want me to do here? All right, so look. So then up
receive
here
my
at the
tag.
top, you see it says a little heart there, and then there's a little red button thing or whatever. So, okay, there. And look, Addressing Gettysburg started following you, so you're going to follow back because you're a big fan. And a bunch of people followed you, so you should go and look and see who they are. But it doesn't show that I tagged you here, so I guess...
Did it come in yet? How do you...
Oh, because that would be, I think... in your yeah, there you go. Addressing Gettysburg sent a post, so then you just open that up, and there's the post. And then you would go in and you would like it, and then maybe share it to your stories. Add post to your stories.
But now, if I
your
made
story.
that post, it would be forever, rather than part of my story, which
Correct.
will disappear tomorrow.
Yes, that would go on your profile wall or whatever.
How do I do the profile wall with that?
Oh, I'll show you later. We're in the middle of a freaking show, Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must have been very boring, but it's very exciting. Oh, terrible. It's a terrible picture.
But now people can go and look. I know it's not a great picture because you made me take it again. The first one was better, but we lost it.
Well, also that you did the black and white thing, and now everyone looks like it was in the 1950s.
Listen, I didn't say I'm a photographer anymore. I said I'm just
anymore?
showing you.
Were you at one time?
I was, but not on phones, on DSLRs. Real cameras.
Disslers?
I was a Distler photographer.
Wow, that's very exciting.
No,
Who
so
knew?
like and all that stuff. Those are crutches.
Crutches and fillers.
And fillers to fill time. We hate dead air. You know who I blame?
Who?
Television. Television, radio. There's never. You watch an old movie or an old TV show. There are moments of silence and long silence, and emotion or thoughts are expressed through visuals, the camera focusing on something, or the facial expressions of the actors. But over time, all those things were cut out, and now everything's fast paced, and you don't have 2.5 hour movies anymore. You have an hour and a half movies. It's not about story. It's not about character. It's about
it's got to be a grabber, and they're doing that with theater too, where no intermission because people will leave. Yeah, they want to keep them. Hour 40, no intermission. It's almost perfect. But then Broadway wants to have intermission. They can sell merch and bring them back, and especially if they're charging $150.
Yeah, I'm not going to skip out if I'm paying $150 a ticket.
Skip out, or it's like, wait, $150? It's $1 a minute. Yeah. So they want to have something a little longer. 2 acts, probably an hour each, hour 10. Second act, whatever.
I like to sneak in
from
during
the smaller
the intermission.
I'm smaller theater. My theater in Ventura, Rubicon Theater, because the tickets are sensibly priced,
right?
And you don't have to worry about I'm not getting my money's worth. And audiences today, especially coming back after COVID, they want to be in and out. Give me some art, and get me out of here. And
Yeah.
then intermissions become problematic because, I don't know, you heard somebody coughing in the first act. I don't know if I want to stay. So they might not come back. And people don't mean to walk. It's not necessarily that they don't enjoy it. It's that we're playing with fire here, and I think we got enough. So that's why the whole 1 hour 40, no intermission, a lot of shows are doing that. New shows being written and created.
So at this theater, what's the name of the theater again?
Rubicon Theater.
The Rubicon
Like
Theater.
crossing the Rubicon.
I
Julius
understood.
Caesar.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, but I'm helping the audience too.
Because they're stupid? Is that what you're saying? They're stupid?
Stupid.
Oh.
I mean, God.
Now, would it be stupid or stupid?
Well, I do a liquid U. It's stupid.
Stupid.
Not stupid, but you don't belabor it. It's stupid.
Stupid.
It's like new, not new.
Wait, show me. Do that again. Say stupid again.
Stupid.
Stupid.
Like there's a Y in it. It's called a liquid U. I think.
Stupid.
Stupid. And if you
Don't be so stupid.
Oh, Margaret, you're so stupid.
Oh, yes,
It's a little English, but you got to punch it. Don't belabor
These
it. Stupid.
doilies on the end tables are so stupid.
Yeah, the Duke said you should never be that stupid.
Yes. I think that the way I don't have
That's
anything.
pretty good. No, that's pretty good. That's
but-
pretty good received pronunciation.
All right, teach me some accents.
Oh,
do you
dear.
do accents? You do
Some.
accents.
What do you want?
What do you do? I don't know. Teach me what you do,
Well, what you do now,
or
they're
see
pretty-
how I am at them. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, all about me. Me. The thing now about accents, you could go on YouTube and see you could see 20.
I know.
Yorkshire woman, modern. And you could get some woman, like 18 women, doing, hi, I did the Yorkshire accent. Yeah, and do it for you.
I know.
And then older, younger, you get the whole thing. It was a terrible Yorkshire accent, but that's one of the tough ones.
Well, do you know a Yorkshire accent? How's
I
that
don't. I
supposed
would
to
have
go?
to. I would have to listen to it. I can't pop them. I'm good at accents, but I have to work on it. And then even with learning lines,
Mm-hmm.
after the show closes, I forget everything, and I'm making shaking the Etch-a-Sketch, so I don't retain the dialogue.
Oh, when the
from
show
shows that-
closes,
yes.
not the end of the night.
Not
You're
the end of
saying
the
when
night. No,
show
that
is
would be
done.
terrible.
Yeah, it's like how do you learn it again?
Groundhog Day. That would
Yeah.
be terrible.
Well, no. So I know this is
I think you have a good ear for accents. I'm thinking.
really.
You popped in a couple of great accents. During
T-
the course
test
of
me
this
on
interview.
something. Give me some. I
Well,
don't
do
know.
a Scottish. I think Scottish is
Oh,
very.
that's a tough. Give me something
know.
to say in a Scottish accent. I just can't make anything up here.
All aboard.
No. Give me
Next
like a
stop
sentence.
Inverness.
No, give me like a better sentence than that. I got to work into it here. Hold on. I just got to think of something to say.
Well, think something that Sean Connery said.
I'll take the rapist for 300, Alex.
Not bad. Well, that's a Sean Connery,
yeah, but that's
not
that's an
necessarily
impression of Sean.
Scottish.
All right, let me
Let me
think
give
of
you
Scott-
something easy. Okay, Alabama.
No. Go back to Scottish. Just give me something to say. I just need a sentence. Make up any sentence. I can't think of anything right now. Just make a sentence.
I would like 3 pounds of that trifle and 6 pounds of the ground beef.
I would like, all right, 3 pounds of that trifle and 6 pounds of the ground beef.
Perfect.
Nah,
It wasn't bad.
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't perfect.
And what was great, here's the thing that was
I need to
great
get
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
Is you just did it.
Right.
Oh, let me get, right.
I got it.
And
Keep
that's
going.
that's what I love about younger people. Young kids, do this accent, do this, and they'll leap into it. They don't think. What happens with grown-ups past the age of 16, we
Yeah.
worry about being cool.
Exactly.
We worry about, or being uncool, right?
But I'm not cool. And I know I'm not cool.
And no, I'm not.
Right.
And you're making fun of it. Do the fat,
Fuck it.
the fat bastard.
That's what I'm thinking. Well,
Yes,
yeah, I
that's
used
the way
to.
start. And to do the Irish, you got to start with they're always after me like a child, because that's what we know. So you start there and build on it, and then,
Yeah.
and then find the spine of the guy or the woman. Do a Scottish woman. Same line.
It would be
I'd
this.
like it.
What was the line again?
I like 3 pounds of trifle and 6 pounds of ground beef.
I'd like 3 pounds of trifle and 6 pounds of ground beef.
That's fantastic.
It's
And
just
you
a
sounded
higher
like a woman.
voice.
A woman
Thank you.
that I wouldn't want to date. I
Yeah.
mean, what the hell? What is trifle?
I'm about as hairy as a Scottish woman too. What's that? What is trifle? Oh, it's no.
Is it? I'm thinking awful. I meant awful. Awful is the guts.
Awful.
We say awful.
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 Awful. I'll take 3 pounds of the awful and 6 pounds of ground meat or beef. Beef.
Biff.
Beef. Yeah, that's it. And then I'm sure if you are from Scotland or know someone, if you've been to Scotland and you've been around it, there's different dialects of the accent wherever you go, like with Ireland or England
Shetland,
or here or
yes.
anywhere. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's
What?
John Pinkerton.
Oh, John. Put him on speakerphone.
Can I?
Yeah, actually, tell him. Yeah, go ahead.
Have you made it? Are you in town?
I am in town. Is that your black truck?
In front of 102 York.
Yes.
That's my brother's truck.
Yes.
And so we're at the visitor center. I'm on the air with Matt Callery.
Oh, okay then. Well,
Do you know where his studio is?
I don't.
Well, Matt, why don't you pop in here or pipe in?
Hey, Johnny. The studio. Hold on, I'm gonna say it. So
what accent was that?
I don't know. I was jumping in and out. It's down at the visitor center in the bus lot. John, you know where that is?
Did you for Chinese that one night?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
How long are you gonna be there? Because, are we doing dinner?
We're doing dinner.
We're doing dinner.
With Brian, Olivia, everybody?
No. Just the three of us, and maybe my friend Eric.
Brian just
So this is very exciting for you people.
he'd like to join us.
I'm sure.
Brian would probably like.
Oh, of course Brian could. Why not? Of course.
So where should we meet and what time?
If you guys tell me, are you guys gonna be in that lot, Matt?
Well, we could wrap up soon, maybe in like 20 minutes. But why don't we do this, John? We'll text you when we're done, and we'll figure out where to go from there.
Well, I'm just saying I'm driving around aimlessly.
So
Come by. Come by.
All right. I'll be there okay, cool. I'll be there in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
See you in a minute.
All right.
Okay, man.
All right, bye.
So, all right. So the So accents. Now, how do you learn to do accents? How did you learn to do accents?
It was different in the old days. There was a phonetic alphabet, and you could get your if there was a dialect coach. Most theatrical productions will hire a dialect coach. I think I did Dancing at Lunasa, so I had to have a Welsh accent, though it was a play that took place in Ireland. So there was a dialect coach who helped me. These are the sounds, write them out phonetically. And everything changed once that you were able to get on the internet and go to YouTube and everyone. Yeah. So you can not only hear the accent, because there used to be tapes. You used to get at the drama bookshop, you would get a tape, a cassette tape that you'd pop in your cassette player, put on your earphones, or listen to it in your apartment as you're cooking dinner. And you'd go through all the sounds, and then you'd transcribe all of your lines with the phonetic sounds. The A sound, you transpose it into the eh sound. Eh. And then every time you had the A sound, you would have to transcribe it back into the eh sound. So that's what you used to have. Now you can go to YouTube, watch somebody, and then do the same thing. The thing that happens is you have to be very specific. You can learn how to say the lines, but then the next time you say another A sound, you could miss it. So it's good to have somebody who's really on you about, no, you missed that sound. And a dialect coach will see the whole act of the play, the first act, and then give you notes. Then the second act, be aware of these sounds. You have trouble with these. And take notes so you can perfect it. Like you're speaking a foreign language.
Yeah, okay.
So, and it's better to have somebody actually from an Irish person say, this is what sounds wrong to me.
Right.
And so you want to, and then you are working on the accent from the first day of rehearsal. So by the time you open 4 weeks later, you have it down. And so that's how I used to do accents. Some accents I can do received pronunciation. I can do an aristocratic English accent pretty well. I don't need to go because I've done them so often.
Okay.
And I've had to do German accents. And there's certain accents I have in my wheelhouse. I find Scottish difficult because I will go into an Irish accent easily.
Well, so I find Irish difficult because I'll go into a Scottish accent.
Well, there it is.
Yeah.
So was the Scottish accent the first one you learned? Because you'll gravitate towards the one that you have in your wheelhouse.
I think the
strongest.
Scottish one was the first non-British or Southern that I learned and did well. Better than I do British or Southern. Like, I would goof around with British and Southern. But when Austin Powers came out and Fat Bastard, it was easy for... Because it was... Fat Bastard was always loud and gruff. And that's easy to do. It's the soft...
It's broad.
It's
too.
broad. Well, yeah, and he's, you know... What was that one line? He goes... First things first. Where's your shitter? I got a turtle here. Get in my belly. Belly.
Belly was good.
Belly.
But my,
Yeah,
was that
my.
my sound was bad.
Yeah, I'm out of practice. I
Yeah,
haven't
no,
done
you're
it
terrible. No,
in 20 years.
But you have it down. But it's funny. You
No,
have
I
to
had
tweak
it down
those little
better.
Sounds. Sure, you did. 'Cause
And
you
I
did
used
it
to
all the
have...
time.
I had Christopher
Rehearsal.
Walken down better. I used to do Christopher Walken pretty damn good. I did that whole...
Shveddy?
What?
No. I'm thinking that's Alec Baldwin.
No, Christopher Walken.
I was thinking of
Sweaty Balls. Yeah, that was funny. No, Walken, I did the whole...
Watch?
Yes, this watch. Your father, Dane Coolidge. I used to do the whole thing, and I did it really well. Like, I practiced it, and I watched it, and along with him. And,
What about Dr. Evil? That's a great sort of proper...
No, I never really got into that. I mean, but that's pretty... How about No, Scott? You know, it's like a nasally...
You don't even know what it is. It's sort
Lorne
of
Michaels.
haughty.
It is haughty, yes.
So it's aristocratic, but there's also those ugly sounds. Yeah.
How about No? Yeah.
Yeah. Like Hoogie.
Is it too much to ask to get sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads? I think that was supposed to be Lorne Michaels. Is that
that's
who
right,
he
I
based
heard-
that off of?
Or was it?
And Lorne
I had
Michaels kind
I
of
had an
talks
ordinary
like this.
childhood, summers in Rangoon.
Luge lessons. When I was insolent, I was placed in a burlap sack and beaten with reeds. Pretty standard, really.
Genius. There used to be a poster that my niece and nephew had on their what are they? The playroom. They had a playroom.
Yeah.
It was in the it was a
Rec room,
unfinished
yeah.
basement, rec room. So, and they would do that. These kids that were even better. I mean, young
kids
people,
are
like I
really
said
good.
Before,
Yeah.
an ear for mimicry.
They're
Because They don't
sponges.
care. They are.
But that's what,
And
when
then
they're
they learn to
young,
get
all they do
cool.
is mimic. That's what they do. That's how they learn. When you're
What are you talking about?
when you're a little kid, from teenage years, and when you start to develop the adult brain, like all the way through there, all you're doing is mimicking.
Oh, right, the grown-ups, mimicking the grown-ups.
Yeah.
And then you mock them.
And then you mock them when you become more of your own person. You're like, these people are idiots. And then, and then you become one, and then you're
I
like,
don't want to be uncool
I'm
like
still
they
cool, guys. Aren't I still cool? How about, can you do...
Wait up.
Can
Hey,
you do...
wait up.
Can you do any celebrity impressions?
I cannot do any. Can I?
I don't know. Can you?
I don't think that I can.
How did you guys, when you did the movie...
Oh, here's the one that I can do.
Yeah.
And no one will know who it is, so it's going to be easier to do.
It'd be great.
My brother and I used to just go crazy when we were younger, and this will date me. There was an older actress who was in... I think Anne Blythe. Anne Blythe, I think, was Vida in Mildred Pierce, the bitchy little daughter.
No idea what you're talking about.
What have you done? With Joan Crawford.
Okay, I know who
Anne
she
Blythe.
is.
Anyway, so Anne Blythe, she got older, and she used to do these Hostess commercials. So my parents all knew who Anne Blythe. Oh, that sophisticated movie star. That's Anne Blythe. And she used to sell Hostess snack cakes. And of course, she was, at the time, we knew that this woman was ancient.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hi, it's Anne Blythe for Hostess. When my children come home from school." So it was that 1930s movie star,
Yeah,
right before
yeah.
the movie star.
But she's
and
old.
then old, you're like, "Yeah, your kids. You mean your grandkids?" I like to serve them Twinkies, fruit pies, and ho-hos. And she would say ho-ho. And my brother and I would just die like, "Oh, she's so dirty."
I
Why
love
does she-"
Drake's cakes. I don't
Twinkies,
know who. What's her
fruit
name?
pies, and
Anne.
ho-hos. Anne Blythe.
Anne
Blythe for Hostess. Google it. It's funny as hell. God
Let's
rest her
see.
soul.
Maybe there might actually be. You know what? I bet you there's a commercial
On YouTube,
On
right.
YouTube, yeah. Let's see. YouTube. We'll look this up right now, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see.
Before your very right eye.
Before your very ears, we will look this up. Of course, my internet is super slow here today, so bear
Hey,
with
can I
us.
be on the Wall of Fame?
Please be on the Wall of Fame.
We'll give you an orange marker.
Here. It's a silver marker. Do you want the gold marker?
Yeah, I think I deserve the gold.
Gold, take the gold. Yeah, and Blythe, it's taking a while to pull up there. So while you're signing that, and we're waiting for the internet to do its goddamn job, what?
I'm over here.
Yeah, I see that. What is what? When you got into show business,
The business of show.
the business of show, did you? Was it right out of school? Did school help you get into it, or did you have to figure out your own way?
Well, here's the thing. I was in the business. I left my undergrad. That's why I got my undergraduate degree just 2 years ago. Because I left James Madison University to get my equity card, the Professional Stage Actors Union. So I left undergraduate school to get my equity card because I thought it was that important. And then I got my equity card at the Cincinnati Playhouse in the Park. And then I went to New York and did some, that's when I did the musical version of The Diary of Anne Frank.
Can we talk about that?
Can we talk about that? So I worked in New York for a couple years, and then I decided to go to drama school. So I got into Yale School of Drama MFA program, but I didn't have a bachelor's, so I was in the certificate program. So in 3 years, I earned my MFA, but it was earned, not awarded. So they gave me a certificate in drama. So cut to 26 some odd years later, I went back to school to get my undergraduate degree, and then I got my MFA by writing in, paying $100, and I got my MFA.
Okay.
So I had worked in New York before I got my MFA, but there is something that they say exists, and it did. It might still exist. I just am sort of out of the loop. The Yale Mafia. So you go to one of these schools, and because people are impressed that you pay, that you paid all of this money, and all these other people paid money, and it's
Yeah.
And so, you must be good. Is the Emperor's New Clothes too? You must be good. And I had incredible training. So the one thing about conservatory training is I did 27 plays in 3 years. So just work after work after work after work. I probably
Wait, how do you memorize? That's 9 a year. How do you memorize that many parts? Are you not doing them simultaneously?
Yeah, a couple of them we did.
Really?
But when you're young, that's the thing about building up those calluses. It's like
You're
training
right.
for the Olympics. You do it because you have to do it, and you're competitive. So it's very competitive. So I got these parts. I don't want to blow it, so I'm going to do what I have to do. And you don't sleep. You drink a lot of coffee, smoke a lot of cigarettes, and get everything done.
Did you smoke a lot of cigarettes? Were you a smoker?
I sure did. I was a smoker.
Good old days, right? Don't you miss it? It was
I
wonderful.
don't miss because I didn't. I gave up smoking probably about 8 years ago.
Okay.
And then I tried again for another couple years, and I just feel terrible. I love smoking.
Yes.
But the next day, and the wheezing and coughing, I was prone to bronchitis. It just wasn't worth it.
I love the act of smoking. I love the taste of tobacco.
I do too. I love the kick in the back of my throat.
Yep.
And there's something to do with your hands.
Yes.
The little friend that you
The
have.
feeling full in the lungs and then blowing it out. The whole thing.
Cold, and also the misfits. I even liked smoking when it began to be uncool.
Oh yeah.
Because you would be outside in the parking lot smoking with a bunch of misfits.
Yeah. Like all the all
do
the
you have
second class citizens.
Right. And
Yeah.
do I smell? Of course you smell. You smell.
You stink. And you know what the worst is? Like you have this leather jacket on now. There's nothing worse than the smell of a leather jacket like that with cigarette smoke. Did you ever notice that?
Well, anything will reek of, and you don't know when you're a smoker.
You can't smell it.
And I even would have a spritzer of, I wouldn't buy expensive cologne, of some sort of, 4711, like a cheap cologne, but it wasn't dirt cheap.
Right.
Not like Axe body spray. It was like, someone smells like flowers, right? Or that's musky.
Yeah. But you're not fooling anybody when you do that.
And then you smell like cigarettes and a Glade plug-in.
Yeah. You smell like somebody trying to mask the fact that you're a smoker.
It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. And it lingers in everything. In the clothes, dry clean, it's still going to smell. I mean, it takes a very long time. Upholstery, if you smoke in the house.
I remember when I quit, it was like I had, my laundry in the hamper and everything. I quit, and I think I was maybe 2 days without smoking a cigarette, and then I went to do the laundry. That was from, a week or so prior to whenever, and I could smell the smoke, and it was disgusting. Like, it would smell like an ashtray. That, like...
It gets very acrid, especially if it sits.
It's not... Yeah, that's the thing about tobacco. I know. There's, I like a cigar. Like, a good cigar is nice.
Well, pipe smoke, I don't think it's
pipe
as bad
smoke.
as
I love pipe smoke. But pipe smoke doesn't smell... All tobacco smoke stinks a day or two later when it's in your, whatever, clothes or whatever. But... Yeah, pipe is definitely the most fragrant as you're smoking it. Cigar after that. Cigarettes are kind of gross.
It's nasty, but they're the most fun to smoke.
They are. They're the easiest to smoke. You can suck one down real quick. All right, let's see. Is this it?
Yeah, my aunt used to call them lung biscuit.
Now they're ready for snack cakes. They'd eat them all the time, if I let them. When I do serve snacks, I always serve Hostess. Fruit pies, cupcakes, and Twinkies. Because Hostess stands for freshness, they love that moist, springy cake and creamy filling.
Well, she's not saying ho-ho.
Fruit pies,
No, wait.
cupcakes, and Twinkies. Freshness never tasted so good.
Freshness.
She attacks that word. I mean, does talk about like beautiful sounds, but it sounds so
Here, Twinkies and ho-hos. Wait, here.
Although the kids enjoy them too. You Hostess crumb cakes. Light little cakes with a grown-up taste. Made with a flavorful cinnamon topping over delicious moist cake. Perfect for coffee time, breakfast, anytime. You Hostess crumb cakes. The light little cakes with a grown-up taste.
All right, so I think this is another one. Back.
Please, Mom. Please, Mom. Being a mother is not a popularity contest. I'm Ann Blythe. And like you, sometimes I say no to snack cakes. But when I do say yes, it's Hostess, because freshness never tasted so good. Hostess fruit pies, Twinkies, and ho-hos. So moist and creamy, you know they're fresh, and that's why they taste so good. Hostess fruit pies, Twinkies.
Used to be ho-ho. They did.
They did. They changed it. They're like, you sound too evil.
And ho-hos. So moist and creamy, you know they're fresh.
Wait, so there's two. Here.
Hostess fruit pies, Twinkies, and ho-hos. So moist and creamy, you know they're fresh. And that's why they taste so good.
I swear she used to go,
fruit pies, Twinkies, and ho-hos. Freshness never tastes.
That was it. They dubbed that in. That's not the original one.
I swear it was ho-hos.
Oh, boy.
It's like, Ann, we have to redub you because, oh, fuck. What am I going to do? Sorry. Bleep.
It's the way you said ho-ho. What's wrong with the way I said ho-ho?
It should be, punch it.
You sound too angry and drunk. Well,
Doesn't she look like she's a mom? Look at her.
She doesn't look like, no, that's the thing.
She looks like a grandma.
She looks like a grandma, and also, why?
Is she wearing a caftan? I can't see.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what a caftan is?
No, why would I?
It's like a tent.
Why would she wear a tent? What are you talking about?
The one that I'm thinking of was like, oh, when my children come home, and she's in one of those, it's sort of a muumuu, where it's just a big piece of,
she was wearing like a nice, no, she wasn't
nice.
wearing either.
Yeah, you don't know.
It's not a muumuu, whatever the hell.
Caftan.
Whatever it is she's wearing. Oh, wait, there's more here. Hostess snack commercial. This is 1972. So I'm watching these, and ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, I encourage you to go on YouTube and look up Ann Blythe and Hostess and all that stuff, because if you lived through the 70s, I have a question for you, and Joseph, please answer this now for me, if you will.
Because you didn't live through the 70s?
I was born in 78, so when you would watch television, especially commercials and things like that, was it creepy? Because it looks really creepy. The lighting, the colors of
You're watching a tape of a tape, probably on YouTube.
Oh, it's
no, I wouldn't describe it as creepy. It looked different.
Cupcake and fruit pie champs. So I say when, and I say Hostess, because freshness never tasted so good as in Hostess snack cakes. So moist and creamy, you know they're fresh. That's why they love the taste. Hostess cupcakes, Twinkies, and fruit pies.
Oh.
freshness never tasted so good.
Now, so
Never tasted so good.
So, okay, now she does look like a grandmother, but here's my question. I recently saw this video, and they've done studies on why people from previous generations look old. Like high school kids look old, but they're like 15 years old, and they look like they're in their 30s.
Well, they were probably in their 20s. And then they had a lot of makeup on.
Not actors. No.
You mean real?
Like they're talking like from news footage. You know, they're it's news footage, and they're in a high school classroom or something like that, and they look like they're in their 20s. And if you look back at all the decades before, so now Ann Blythe in these commercials, we're saying she looks like a grandmother, but she might be like 35 years.
In a movie as a teen-year-old, Ann Blythe?
Yeah, 94 years old.
Oh, she was a great actress.
So let's
I don't
see,
mean to-
38, 48, 58, 60.